Got another disgusting update for you here today. It has just been reported that Maxwell is being moved to a minimum security prison in Texas with no explanation for why, and there are no answers for any of the questions people have about this, but the timing is very suspicious considering she just started cooperating with the DOJ behind closed doors, which again there is no transparency with in regards to anything that was talked about there. Now she's mysteriously just being pushed into a very, very minimum security prison, which is it's a camp, by the way. It's a minimum security prison camp where it is usually reserved for non-violent, like white-collar criminals, shit like fraud. And now she's enjoying a cozy stay there. Now, her previous spot was also like on the lower end of prisons. It wasn't exactly like Azkaban they had her held up in, but there were still serious offenders in there, and it wasn't nearly as lax as the place she has just been moved to in Texas, seemingly out of nowhere.
The move comes a week after Maxwell met in private with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche at the U.S. Attorney's office in Tallahassee. The details of that meeting have not been made public. It also comes after the family of one of Maxwell's alleged victims, Virginia Giuffre, spoke to our own Hallie Jackson, urging the president not to pardon Maxwell.
Isn't that just fucking preposterous that the family of one of the victims has to come forward and beg the president to not pardon a convicted child sex trafficker who was a co-conspirator to the biggest pedophile and sex trafficker in this country's history, because there's a very real possibility that it's something he's considered because he keeps fucking teasing it, him and his administration?
The big question here is, do we know why Maxwell was moved?
It is the big question, Zinkley, and the United States Department of Justice spokespeople are refusing to provide any answer or comment this afternoon. We have called them, we have texted them, we have emailed them.
They're staying extremely tight-lipped around the reasoning with this sudden move. It's very suspicious. I think anybody that's activating neurons should be able to tell you that something smells very fishy here. Instead of releasing the Epstein files, which it seems like is never going to happen here, which has gone through the craziest song and dance. It's been like 10 seasons worth of plot twists in regards to that from this administration. First, they're going to release them day one when Trump's in office. Next, they're coming. Next, they're on Pam Bondi's desk. Next, turns out it was a figment of everyone's imagination. It was a made-up boogeyman. Everyone just fucking, ayahuasca tripped and envisioned these files, but they were never actually real. No such thing as the Epstein files. Then, no, the Epstein files are real, but they're a Democrat hoax. Next, the files are compromised, so instead we're going to Maxwell directly to get all the names and dangling a pardon in front of her face. Now, all of this happening behind closed doors, by the way, this conversation with Maxwell, whom I imagine will be squealing and singing any names that the administration wants her to, omitting the ones they don't want her to say, and saying whatever names they'd like to put in her mouth. And now, all of a sudden, she's just being transferred to a very minimum security prison that sounds almost like a summer camp that also has another celebrity resident there. Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos. You remember that huge scam? This is one of those like cozy, bougie prisons where like the rich elite get privileged to go to.
To a facility that, frankly, and you can look at it on Google Earth, the fence line is the type of fence that you would put around a school. In many places, there's no razor wire. There's not a fence that would be difficult to climb. The gates of it look more like the gates of a country club than they do of a federal prison. So this is one of the camps that people like to go to. It's all women's. We do have a response from several of the victims saying today President Trump has sent a clear message today. Pedophiles deserve preferential treatment and their victims do not matter. That's coming from Annie Farmer, Maria Farmer, and the family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre.
Yeah, it really does seem that way, huh? It's very weird, so peculiar how Trump is so buddy-buddy and cozy with so many pedophiles, and even just last night proudly presented and brought aboard a registered sex offender to be part of the sports commission that will be overseeing things like the youth presidential fitness test, which is being brought back.
You want to say a few words? Come on up. Come on. He's a little shy, but once he gets going, nobody can stop.
Oh, no, that don't stop. I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can for as long as I can. Thank you very much.
Nobody like him.
If you know anything about football, you probably recognized who that was immediately. That's Lawrence Taylor. He is a Hall of Famer, probably still to date the hardest tackler in NFL history. But Lawrence Taylor is a registered sex offender. In 2011, he pled guilty to sexual misconduct with a 16-year-old who was trafficked, by the way, and has since been on the sex offenders registry. He was registered as a level 1 offender, and some people are actually using this as a defense of him. Like, it's not that big of a deal. He's just a level 1 sex offender, which is crazy, but that's the times we're living in right now with the absolute lunatics running wild outside of fucking Arkham Asylum. They're now just in society here with us. Anyway, though, the facts are he pled guilty to 1 count of soliciting a prostitute and a 2nd count of sexual misconduct and having sex with a woman without consent since the victim was 16. Under oath, he admitted to having sex with a 16-year-old, but claimed that she had told him she was 19, so he believed she was of the age of consent. Now, I don't know about all you lovely people out there. I'm not trying to put farts in your butthole here, but I'm gonna go ahead and maybe be a little brave here. This might be, just a spicy hot take, but I'm gonna let it rip anyway. I don't think a registered sex offender who has openly admitted to having sex with a sex-trafficked individual he thought was of the age of consent but was actually a child is really the best fit for the Presidential Sporting Commission here that will be overseeing activities for children. Now, maybe it's just me with those crazy thoughts, though. Maybe that's the problem, actually. I'm not open-minded enough to see why this is actually such a galaxy brain good idea. Because there's a lot of people defending it. Like, how's Trump supposed to know? This was 14 years ago. It's ancient history. What's the big deal? And then people just excusing it like, oh, it happened so long ago and Trump is such a busy man. There's no way you could have possibly known about this history with Lawrence Taylor. Like, what the fuck, man? It's a sex offenders registry. It's public knowledge. All of Lawrence Taylor's neighbors know it. How could the White House not know it before hiring him to bring him on board for this sporting commission? Do they not do any homework on the people they hire? Is there no vetting process whatsoever? They just hire anybody randomly? I mean, actually, that's probably exactly how it goes. Because even Lawrence Taylor, when Trump, babies him up there, Trump talks to him like he's talking to, an actual 4-year-old, by the way, like, oh, do you want to come say something? Come on. And rubs his back. Come on, say something. Which is super weird in and of itself, by the way. But when Lawrence Taylor does talk, he's like, don't really know why I'm here. Don't really know what we're supposed to be doing. But I'm happy to be here. So he doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing there. Why is he hired? That is the perfect encapsulation of this whole administration. What he said. Don't really know why I'm here and I don't know what I'm doing. That is exactly what the fuck is happening right now. Everything from the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files and all of the circus shit that has followed. It is unbelievable. And it somehow just keeps getting worse. Just stew on this. Really just fucking sit and spin on this preposterous shit that we are seeing here. It is not normal. It is not okay. It actually seems like this administration is trying to normalize pedophilia. It literally does seem that way. He just added a sex offender to the President's Council of Sports Nutrition and Fitness, which will give initiatives to children. What is happening? How can that possibly not be something that everybody comes out and says, whoa, this is fucked up? There is no defense of that. There are hundreds of other NFL legends that you could have put on this council if you really wanted to. That aren't sex offenders and shit. It's crazy. It's like he goes out of his way to find pedophiles and be close with them and give them positions of power. It does feel like he gives preferential treatment to pedophiles. He's moving Maxwell to a cozier, more low-security prison in Texas for some reason that's not being disclosed. He's got Lawrence Taylor now as part of this president council. It's absolutely unhinged. I had to talk about it. Sorry, I've been yapping quite a bit about it now, but it is incomprehensible. To a sane society, this would be this would be unforgivable. But it's just still unfolding in front of everyone's faces, and some people are just so brainwashed and lost that they accept it and just move on like it's not a big deal. It is. Like, it is a big deal. Like, all of the evil people that were on the Epstein client list are still getting away with it with no punishment, and the only person who has faced any punishment at all for being a co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, is maybe going to be receiving a pardon. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, I'll stop blabbering for now. That's really about it. See ya.